of the wilderness, it has not yet been learned that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness were not guaranteed by the Constitution. People abroad in the world, and a bruin's nose cannot always tell him who is friend and who is foe, so they decide not to be caught napping. There is still a hint of danger in the air, as well as sounds that are disturbing to Elmer, the oldest. Their noses smell trouble. Elmer suddenly misses one of his brothers. So that's what he's up to, trying to get a bear in a bag, and how they can run. What chance has a baby bear? It would certainly seem that liberty and the pursuit of happiness, if not life itself, is all over. Farewell to the comfortable den among the rocks. No escape now, it's in the bag. They are prisoners in a zoo. A newspaper story of the capture reaches a sympathetic friend. The zoo is shrouded in darkness, and it's scary. No place for a timid boy. The little Bruins discover how important it is to have a real friend in time of need, and the only thing they don't need is a second invitation, though a little assistance is all right. Off they go, 3 Bruins and a boy who is just as glad to leave the zoo as they are. It doesn't take long to reach a jumping-off place, and soon the freedom of the fields and woods is close at hand. The Bruins are sure that freedom has no bad points, but they have yet to meet Porky. No one ever told them about porcupines, but in the woods, a little Bruin soon learns the facts of life, or he will get a lot of sharp lessons. They've already found out that Porky can't shoot his quills, as nature fakers used to say, but that doesn't mean that a coat with sharp nails sticking out of it can be treated with little respect. A boy wouldn't fool with a porcupine, but Elmer still needs that sharp lesson. Out of my way, knitting needles, or get slapped off the log. And that's where Elmer makes a sad mistake. He doesn't care for knitting needles, and Porky knows it. All the fierce growls from a baby bear's throat have no effect. Porky is master of the situation, but Elmer's growls bring help. It's lucky for him that a friend is still near. It's no joke to have darning needles pulled out of your hide. Elmer begins to wonder if it might not have been better to stay in the zoo, where nothing bad ever happens and nothing good. But who wants plenty of nothing? Freedom can have a painful price, but it's worth it. Elmer is glad to get away. His brothers nearby seem to detect a most unusual perfume. Could it be an odor the forest people know as Wood Pussy Chanel No. 5? Mother Wood Pussy believes that the scruff of the neck is the best place to get a grip on a brat, and she's so right. Elmer's brothers always seem to keep out of trouble, but depend upon it, he has a talent in this direction. Try to get away from him. The commotion arouses Mr. Groundhog. He was just about to call the family back into the den for 6 weeks more of winter. But how can a woodchuck live up to a superstition when playful bruins appear? They're so rough and rowdy, they make life real and very earnest, with the result that woodchuck patience wears very thin. And the bruins know that teeth strong enough to crack a hickory nut can make quite an impression. Elmer decides that he's had enough, so he takes off in haste to the comfortable safety of the nearest tree, because a woodchuck can't climb. He's a groundhog. Yes, a wildcat is one thing a bruin wants no part of. There are so many things in the woods for a baby bear to learn. For instance, that this fellow won't jump unless he's frightened, which is why most everybody jumps. And the gentle raccoon isn't afraid of anything, except a lady with a yen for a new fur piece. The one neighbor the bruins thoroughly enjoy is the occasional forest friend who plays as rough as they do. This is the otter. They never lose a chance to have a romp, so they invite him ashore. Elmer can hardly wait for the fun he knows they can have. The otter is the greatest fisherman in the forest, and a little selfish too, for he thinks bruins should stay away from his bailiwick. They might catch fish. Elmer couldn't catch hay fever, but Mr. Otter doesn't know that. Time to go home, and the three little bruins happily end a day of great adventures.